Start with a shocking statistic about unsolved crimes or a mind-blowing fact about a notorious case that will instantly intrigue your audience. Encourage viewers to share their thoughts in the comments about their favorite true crime cases and invite them to watch your next video. On a crisp morning in March 2019, the opulent halls of the Blackwood Mansion in an upscale Chicago suburb were shattered by a gruesome scene. Michelle Blackwood, a renowned art dealer and socialite, lay lifeless on the cold marble floor of her living room. Her body was arranged with an eerie precision, as if the killer had taken care to pose her in a final, macabre tableau. Multiple stab wounds marred her chest, each delivered with surgical accuracy, suggesting a hand both skilled and deliberate. A thin pool of blood encircled her, its edges already drying in the morning light, and her wide, unblinking eyes stared upward, frozen in a moment of terror, as if she had glimpsed her fate approaching. Nicholas Blackwood, her husband and the formidable CEO of Blackwood Industries, stood nearby, his face a mask of shock and disbelief. Beside him were Alan and Malia Winchester, close friends of the couple, their expressions mirroring Nicholas's stunned silence. The household maid, Annabeth, hovered at the edge of the scene, her hands trembling as she clutched a dust cloth, her eyes darting nervously between the body and the others in the room. The police arrived swiftly, cordoning off the sprawling estate as forensic teams descended, unaware that their investigation would soon unravel a web of secrets, betrayal, and forbidden desires that would shock the nation. Nicholas Blackwood was no ordinary man. Born in 1975 in the gritty heart of Chicago, he clawed his way out of a childhood marked by poverty and hardship. Raised by a single mother who toiled as a seamstress, Nicholas learned early the value of resilience. His youth was a crucible of struggle, yet it forged in him an unyielding ambition. A brilliant student, he earned a coveted scholarship to the University of Chicago's Booth School of Business in 1993, graduating with an MBA in 1997. His career began humbly at a small real estate firm, but Nicholas possessed an uncanny knack for transforming struggling enterprises into gold mines. By 2005, his name was whispered with reverence in corporate circles, and in 2010, he founded Blackwood Industries, a conglomerate that rapidly ascended to prominence under his shrewd leadership. By 2019, Nicholas was a titan, his company a juggernaut in real estate, technology, and finance. His ability to navigate complex markets and orchestrate high-stakes deals earned him both wealth and respect. He lived in a world of tailored suits, private jets, and exclusive galas. His life a testament to the American dream. Yet beneath the polished exterior, cracks were forming, cracks that would soon lead to a tragedy no one could have foreseen. Michelle Blackwood was a force in her own right, a woman whose elegance and intellect captivated all who met her. Born into a family of modest means, she discovered her passion for art in her teens, spending hours sketching in local galleries. Her keen eye for talent and her knack for spotting the next big thing in the art world propelled her to open her own gallery in 2008. The Michelle Blackwood Gallery became a beacon for modern art, showcasing emerging artists alongside established names. Her presence at events like the 2012 Venice Biennale and the 2015 Met Gala cemented her status as a cultural icon, her grace and poise making her the envy of high society. Michelle and Nicholas married in 2007, their union a perfect blend of power and prestige. Together, they were Chicago's golden couple, their lives a seamless tapestry of success and sophistication. But perfection is often an illusion, and behind the curated facade of their marriage, a storm was brewing, one that would culminate in bloodshed. The Blackwoods' descent into darkness began with a chance encounter at a glittering charity gala in Manhattan on November 10, 2012. The event, held in a grand ballroom adorned with crystal chandeliers, drew the elite from art, finance, and technology. Michelle, radiant in a sapphire gown, was the evening's honored guest, her gallery having sponsored the event. Nicholas, ever the supportive spouse, mingled effortlessly, his charisma drawing admirers like moths to a flame. It was here that they met Alan and Malia Winchester, a couple whose charm and wealth rivaled their own. Alan Winchester, a suave entrepreneur with a penchant for high-risk investments, was instantly captivated by Michelle's intellect and beauty. Malia, his equally charismatic wife, connected with Nicholas over shared interests in business and philanthropy. The four struck up a conversation that flowed effortlessly, their laughter echoing through the ballroom. Michelle and Malia bonded over their love of Impressionist art, while Nicholas and Alan debated the merits of emerging markets. By the end of the night, the Winchesters extended an invitation to their Hamptons estate, and the Blackwoods accepted with enthusiasm. What began as a casual acquaintance blossomed into a deep friendship. The couple spent weekends together, attending art openings, charity balls, and exclusive dinners. Their bond was fortified by shared passions and a mutual desire to push boundaries. But it was during one such gathering, over glasses of aged Bordeaux, that Alan and Malia proposed an idea that would change everything: partner swapping. The suggestion came cloaked in sophistication, framed as a way to inject excitement into their predictable lives. Alan and Malia, known for their adventurous spirit, argued that swapping partners could deepen their connection and liberate them from societal norms. Nicholas and Michelle, intrigued by the novelty and trusting in their friendship, agreed to explore the arrangement. At first, it was exhilarating, a forbidden thrill that reinvigorated their marriages. The couple set clear boundaries, ensuring discretion and mutual respect. But what started as a playful experiment soon spiraled into obsession. By 2017, Michelle and Alan found themselves drawn to each other beyond the physical. Their stolen moments grew longer, their conversations more intimate. They shared secrets and dreams, their bond deepening into something neither had anticipated. Michelle, once devoted to Nicholas, began to see Alan as her true confidant, while Alan, captivated by her passion, imagined a future together. Their affair, hidden from Nicholas and Malia, became a dangerous secret that threatened to unravel their carefully constructed lives. Nicholas and Malia, blissfully unaware, continued the arrangement, enjoying the thrill without noticing the growing distance in their spouses. Michelle and Alan, however, were consumed by their feelings, meeting in secret at discreet hotels and quiet corners of the city. Their stolen glances and whispered promises became a world unto themselves, a world where Nicholas and Malia no longer existed. The facade shattered on the night of March 5, 2019, during a tense gathering at the Blackwood mansion. Michelle, her voice trembling, revealed a devastating truth. She was pregnant with Alan's child. The room fell silent, the air thick with betrayal. Malia's face contorted with rage, her fists clenched as she glared at Michelle. Nicholas, his composure crumbling, stood frozen, his eyes burning with hurt. Alan, caught between guilt and desperation, tried to mediate, but Malia's fury silenced him. The once unbreakable bond between the couples disintegrated, leaving only anger and heartbreak. The next morning, Michelle was found dead, her body a testament to the violence that had erupted in the wake of her revelation. The police, led by seasoned detective Laura Hayes, launched a meticulous investigation. The absence of forced entry suggested the killer was someone Michelle knew, someone within her inner circle. Suspicion fell on Nicholas, Malia, Alan, and Annabeth, the maid who had discovered the body. Detective Hayes, a veteran with a reputation for unraveling complex cases, approached the investigation with relentless precision. The medical examiner's report confirmed Michelle died from massive blood loss due to multiple stab wounds, likely inflicted with a letter opener found near the scene. The wounds were precise, suggesting a calculated attack rather than a crime of passion. A curious detail emerged. A small thread of fabric caught in one of Michelle's wounds matched the upholstery of the Blackwoods' living room couch, hinting that the killer had been in close contact with the furniture. Interviews with the suspects revealed inconsistencies. Nicholas claimed he was in his study, working late. Malia said she was reading in the guest bedroom, while Alan insisted he was watching television upstairs. Annabeth, however, told a different story. She claimed to have overheard Michelle arguing with Malia in the living room around 10 p.m., followed by a sighting of Alan with Michelle at 10:30 p.m. Her account, delivered with a nervous edge, raised red flags. Hayes noted Annabeth's evasive answers and pressed her further, sensing she was withholding critical information. As the investigation deepened, Annabeth's story unraveled. Under intense questioning, she admitted to witnessing the couple's partner-swapping arrangement, a revelation that stunned the detectives. The arrangement provided a motive: jealousy. Malia, betrayed by Alan's affair with Michelle, had reason to lash out. Nicholas, humiliated by his wife's pregnancy, had an equally compelling motive. Both were brought in for further questioning, their alibis scrutinized. Forensic analysis, however, yielded no DNA evidence linking Nicholas or Malia to the crime. Their phones and personal items revealed no incriminating messages, and their lawyers argued fiercely for their release. With no concrete evidence, the police were forced to let them go, though Hayes kept them under surveillance, convinced one of them was hiding the truth. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. During a second search of the Blackwood mansion, forensic teams discovered a partially burned kitchen knife in the incinerator, its handle bearing Annabeth's fingerprints. Confronted with the evidence, Annabeth's composure cracked. In a tearful confession, she revealed the chilling truth. Michelle had caught her stealing money from the living room safe. Threatened with exposure, Annabeth panicked, grabbing a kitchen knife she had used to pry open the safe. In a moment of desperation, she stabbed Michelle, intending only to silence her. The attack, she insisted, was not premeditated, but the evidence told a different story. Annabeth was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Her trial was a media frenzy, with the public divided between those who saw her as a desperate woman driven to a tragic mistake and those who believed her actions were cold and calculated. The prosecution argued that the precision of the wounds and the attempt to burn the murder weapon pointed to intent. The jury, after hours of deliberation, found Annabeth guilty, sentencing her to life in prison without parole. As she was led away, Annabeth collapsed, her sobs echoing through the courtroom. The Blackwood family, seated in silence, watched justice unfold, their grief a heavy shroud. In the quiet suburb of Millbrook, just outside Hartford, Connecticut, September 2018 brought a tragedy that would forever alter the town's idyllic facade. On a cool morning, the body of 17-year-old Sarah Thompson was discovered in the woods behind her family's home, hidden beneath a pile of leaves and branches. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community, transforming a place of unlocked doors and friendly waves into one of fear and suspicion. Detective Michael Carter, a seasoned officer with the Hartford Police Department, was tasked with leading the investigation. Known for his sharp instincts and unwavering dedication, Carter arrived at the scene, his eyes scanning the grim tableau. Sarah's body bore signs of a brutal struggle: bruises on her face and arms, defensive wounds on her hands, and a fatal slash across her throat. The absence of sexual assault suggested a personal motive, a crime driven by emotion rather than randomness. Carter's gut told him the killer was someone Sarah knew, someone close. Sarah was a bright, ambitious teenager with dreams of becoming a journalist. Born in 2001 to a single mother, Amanda Thompson, she grew up in a modest home, her childhood filled with books and sketches. Her talent for art and writing earned her praise from teachers, and her photographs of the Millbrook woods captured the beauty of her surroundings. But her home life was far from perfect. When Sarah was 12, Amanda married Robert Wilson, a successful financial advisor. Initially, the marriage brought stability, but as Sarah entered her teens, tensions with Robert grew. Sarah's relationship with her mother was strained, exacerbated by Amanda's focus on her new husband. Friends noticed Sarah becoming withdrawn, her once vibrant spirit dimming. Her art took on darker tones, and her schoolwork suffered. Emily Chen, her best friend, recalled Sarah's cryptic comments about feeling trapped, though she never shared the full extent of her fears. Unbeknownst to those around her, Sarah had stumbled upon a secret that would cost her life, a secret that would expose the darkness lurking beneath her stepfather's polished exterior. Robert Wilson, 45 at the time of Sarah's death, was the epitome of suburban success. A respected financial advisor, he managed the portfolios of Hartford's elite, his confidence and charm earning their trust. Active in the community, he coached youth soccer and served on the Chamber of Commerce. To outsiders, he was the perfect husband and stepfather, providing Amanda and Sarah with a comfortable life. But behind the facade, Robert was unraveling. For over a year, Robert had been engaged in a secret affair with Elena Gonzalez, the wife of his neighbor and friend, David. The affair, conducted in stolen moments at discreet locations, was a lifeline for Robert, whose marriage to Amanda had grown cold. Sarah, with her keen observational skills, began to notice inconsistencies. Late-night phone calls, unexplained absences, and a growing distance between Robert and the family. Her suspicions deepened, and in the days before her death, she followed Robert. Witnessing a moment of intimacy between him and Elena, that confirmed her fears. Carter's investigation initially focused on Amanda, whose volatile relationship with Sarah was well known. Neighbors reported frequent arguments, and Amanda's weak alibi, she claimed to have been home alone, raised suspicions. But Carter's instincts pointed elsewhere. Robert's calm demeanor and airtight alibi, corroborated by his assistant and office security footage, seemed too perfect. Digging deeper, Carter uncovered discrepancies. Robert's car had left his office earlier than he claimed, and his assistant revealed secret lunchtime meetings at a coffee shop far from work. Surveillance at the coffee shop confirmed Robert's affair with Elena, who, under pressure, admitted to their relationship and contradicted Robert's timeline. Financial records revealed Robert's plan to flee, with large sums transferred to an offshore account and a one-way ticket to Belize, booked for April 2019. The final piece of the puzzle came from Sarah's diary, provided by Emily. In shaky handwriting, Sarah detailed her discovery of Robert's affair and her intention to confront him. Fibers from Robert's suit found on Sarah's jacket and phone records, showing calls to his office, sealed his fate. Carter confronted Robert at his office, where the once confident man unraveled. In a halting confession, he admitted to killing Sarah in a panic after she threatened to expose his affair. He had lured her to the woods, where a confrontation turned deadly. To cover his tracks, he framed Amanda, exploiting her troubled history with Sarah. The trial was swift, with overwhelming evidence leading to a guilty verdict for first-degree murder. Robert was sentenced to life without parole, his fall from grace a stark reminder of the cost of secrets. In the picturesque town of Creekide, Octavia and Oscar Farweather were the embodiment of small-town success. Their love story began at Creekide College, where Octavia's artistic spirit and Oscar's business acumen forged a bond that seemed unbreakable. Married shortly after graduation, they built a life of shared dreams, with Octavia teaching art and Oscar rising in the investment world. Their home in Oakwood Estates, adorned with Octavia's vibrant murals, was a symbol of their prosperity. But beneath the surface, their marriage was fraying. Years of failed attempts to conceive a child left Octavia and Oscar drifting apart. Oscar buried himself in work, while Octavia sought solace in her art and visits to her mother, Cordelia Prescott. A former photojournalist, Cordelia lived a quiet life, tending her garden and volunteering at an animal shelter. It was during these visits that Oscar, seeking comfort, began to see Cordelia in a new light, a connection that would lead to betrayal. One autumn evening, with Octavia preoccupied with an art show, Oscar visited Cordelia's cottage. Over glasses of homemade wine, their conversation turned personal, and a fleeting touch sparked a forbidden attraction. What began as a moment of weakness grew into a full-blown affair, with Oscar and Cordelia meeting in secret, their encounters fueled by guilt and exhilaration. They justified their actions. Oscar felt neglected by Octavia, Cordelia lonely since her husband's death, but their lies only deepened the betrayal. Octavia, her artist's intuition heightened, began to notice changes. Oscar's late nights, unfamiliar scents on his clothes, and Cordelia's sudden distance raised red flags. Her suspicions were confirmed one fateful Saturday when she found Oscar's car parked outside Cordelia's cottage. Peering through a window, she saw them entwined, the sight shattering her world. The confrontation that followed was raw and explosive, with Octavia's pain erupting in accusations and tears. That evening, Octavia's grief turned to rage. When Oscar returned home, she confronted him, her anger fueled by months of deception. In a moment of blind fury, she retrieved a gun from Oscar's study, a weapon kept for protection. As Oscar pleaded for forgiveness, Octavia's hand trembled, and a single shot rang out, striking him in the chest. Horror replaced rage as she tried to save him, calling 911 in a panic. Oscar survived, but the damage was irreparable. Detective Mia Davis led the investigation, piecing together the affair and Octavia's emotional collapse. Text messages from Octavia to her friend Zara revealed her mental state, painting a picture of a woman pushed to the edge. The trial divided Creekide, with some viewing Octavia as a victim of betrayal, others as a perpetrator of violence. Found guilty of aggravated assault, she was sentenced to 5 years, with mandatory counseling. Oscar recovered and moved away, while Cordelia retreated into isolation, her guilt a lifelong burden. If this crime story gave you chills, don't forget to smash that like button and share the scare with your friends. Subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Have your own creepy true crime experience? Drop it in the comments. We want to hear your story. Remember, in the world of crime, not everything is as it seems. Stay safe out there. See you in the next crime story.